I'm very lucky that as a result of my role as chairperson of the Tasmanian Community Fund, I do get to meet many people. And the people that I really enjoy meeting are the really grassroots community people. And by providing a little bit of funding to them, they achieve such amazing outcomes. Over the 21 years, we've had 3,100 projects that have been successful, and $118 million has been invested into the Tasmanian community.
The kind of community groups that put in for grants and the kind of work they do, well-intentioned beyond belief.
And the way it's continued to go out and meet with the community forums, the launches, the things where the fund gets out and amongst the community.
Almost everywhere you go, the Tasmanian Community Fund has been there, and I think the vision that was shown in terms of putting that fund together 21 years ago, kudos to that first group of people that saw that as an opportunity.
We're very privileged in this state to have a fund that continually invests in local communities.
No, I think it's amazing to have such an asset, truly independent body that only cares about community welfare, well-being, is absolutely key for small communities to get things that they need.
So to have the Tas Community Fund, which is fiercely independent and has a board that is really actively engaged in every grant round and reading all the applications, but also making a very clear direction and being very transparent about the direction that they're taking the Tas Community Fund in. That's really important. It gives a high level of confidence that when you're doing an application that it is judged on its merits.
I think the community of Tasmania just owes so much to Gerald Loughran and his foresight in the way he set everything up.
I mean, there were people out in the communities doing volunteer work and working their very, very best, but struggling without any capacity to raise funds. So when we made it known that the fund was available, there was an avalanche.
Wherever we go, we hear from communities that make the comment that made a real difference in our community. And the interesting part for me in all of that is that can be a program that we funded, which was, say one of our large ones, $1.5 million that went to the neighbourhood houses in regard to literacy, or it can be the smallest project, which was $400 that went to the Rosebery neighbourhood house to produce a little book which was all about self-esteem.
Lola has been fantastic, and before Lola, Mark. We've just been so blessed with the staff that we've had and the board members.
And when you look at somebody like Lola as exec officer who's been there for 10 out of 21 years of the organisation, it's because of people like that. It's because of people like Gerald and his board who originally developed the Tasmanian Community Fund. They're the types of people I think of today as we reflect on the fact that we're celebrating our 21st birthday.
I think one of the things I'm most proud of is I don't think there's a town or a community in Tasmania that's not been touched by the fund in some positive way. And I used to get and still do get great pleasure in driving around the state and saying, well, we've been there and we did that.
And you go past the little hall there, just off the main drag, and you think, oh yes, I remember that. Yes, that was a really nice dinner we had there when they opened that one. Yeah, thank you very much. I think I might have said this to Jim Bacon at the time, and then subsequent premiers. I have opened more toilets than you have.
Do I see a future? Oh my gosh, the need will always be there. There'll always be need for the fund.
For me, exciting time in Tasmania, but I am concerned that we need to continue to look at things like education. We need to continue to look at things like employment, and there will be some evolving things we need to look at. Mental health being one as a result of coronavirus.
I'm really thrilled to see how the fund is not prepared to sit back and just say, well, that's it. It's evolving.
We've just kept trying to do what we do best, which is to bring some joy into the Tasmanian community and to make it easier for community people to do what they do brilliantly, which is to support the community, to make Tasmania just a better place to live.